Sorry guys, I had a phone call come in. So yeah, you want the eternal summer, right? When you're young, and that Girls of Summer song is coming through my head, but you don't want that when you're older necessarily. You just want, I don't know. I'm speaking for myself, but I crave the comfort of cuddling up in a blanket and apple cider and being by a fire pit. And I just crave sweater. I love sweaters. I love fall clothes, and I love everything fall represents. And, for all my fall babies out there, you probably understand that as well. But yeah, this is important, because this is, we're getting a lot of messages that are telling us, over the past week or so, that are telling us you're on a new journey. You're starting something fresh and new. This is like a beginner's energy. The pages, the aces, the Fool card, that's all fresh, new, exciting energy. And you want to make sure that you're up for the challenge. So that's why maybe your energy is being conserved and things haven't been moving as quickly or rapidly as you would have liked. So then we have the Three of Pentacles, more balancing, stabilizing earth energy here. Do what you love. Recognition for your hard work. Being paid well. This could be a raise for you. This could be new clients coming in that really represent who you truly are becoming, not who you were. So guys, if you're an independent contractor, you're an entrepreneur, you're a coach, you're a tarot reader as well, understand that the shifts that you're going through, these monumental dynamic shifts that are happening internally, creating this furnace, this internal fire within, so that things can shift in the direction they need to shift, and that you can be led to where you're supposed to be led at this time. For some of you, this is going to look completely different, and you're going to go, this time next year, you're going to be going, even spring next year, you're going to be going, wow, my work looks totally different. But it may take some time to readjust. It may take some time to kind of reconnect to that vital, ancient place inside of you that already holds all the wisdom, that already has the keys to be able to unlock this part of yourself. But that's what you're doing right now, is you're unlocking this part of yourself. I have to write this down, guys, because I always come up with the title for the video while I'm doing it, and then I forget. That's always how I wrote too, because I'm also a writer. And so I would write, and then I would come up with a title later, for reports and papers in college, or also just if I was writing a story or something, a poem, the title always came last. So then I forget, I remember it, I go, oh, that's a great title, and then I forget. And I've been struggling with creativity lately. I've been struggling with titles. I've been struggling with what to say. And it's like, that's something that it feels stifling. It feels stagnant to me. So maybe your creative energy is feeling a little stagnant, but that's going to change here, because there's a lot of optimism and enthusiasm I feel is going to come through in the month of October. September is still a month of endings. There's a 12th house energy going around for September, especially if you're a Scorpio. You're going to be in your 12th house energy, preparing for your first house energy, the first house of self and self-discovery and ambition and understanding of self. But that September energy for, as Sun and Scorpio people, you're going to feel like, okay, like things are ending and a cycle is ending. So we're still in the process of wrapping up old karmic cycles collectively. So that's also why things can feel stagnant or heavy, because you've got to make sure you don't have any tails or stragglers that are trying to hang on there. You want to make sure that you're doing everything right, and that you have everything that needs to be let go of is let go of all the way, fully and completely. We don't want any stragglers, being carried over with us, especially into 2023. What I also feel happening that I've talked about in the past is borders opening in 2023, is more countries opening again, more people traveling. One of the things that I am looking into, and I was actually looking into it before COVID hit, is creating retreats and offering retreats. I have an amazing soul sister who is an incredible yoga teacher, as well as myself. And she's been wanting to do retreats for a long time, and her circumstances have shifted very, so just in a very surprising way in her life. And she's going through she's really on a journey right now of healing her heart. She lost her husband suddenly. He was 41, and she is on a journey, and she wants to do these retreats. And so we have talked about teaming up and offering these retreats to you guys for the divine feminine. So that is something that is definitely being circulated out there, and something that I've wanted to offer for a very long time. And 2023 really feels like the year to open up travel again, and for people to feel comfortable traveling, and for people to feel safe, and just for people to financially also be able to, you know, offer that as a gift to themselves. So do what you love, guys. Your creative energy and passion will be returning here. It's just kind of on a hiatus, on a pause right now, temporarily. And we have to learn to be okay with that as well. So what does the Divine Feminine need to know at this time? Five of Wands. You know, this card talks about conflict with others, but what's interesting is I've kind of always seen this card as conflict with self. But there is a lot of conflict with others coming up right now too, because there's a lot of ego clashes. There's, you know, the death of the ego continuing to occur, the death of the old self, the birth of the new self, this death and rebirth release card. But yeah, this is also what the full moon in Aquarius was asking us to do. Aquarius doesn't like drama. Aquarius rises above drama. Aquarius is like, I'm just dancing to the tune and the beat of my own drum, and I'm just going to be over here singing while you guys are arguing. I don't have any time or energy for this. But again, that Grand Cross energy may have created some stress or may have brought in some arguments with others. So it's just saying, walk away from the drama. Don't engage. Disengage from any drama. Disengage, whether it's the counterpart coming in bringing drama. Like if your counterpart comes in and is just sort of, I don't know, attempting to greet you in the same way they used to, you know, like, or in some way you're hoping that they're going to be ready, and you're hoping they're going to be more mature about it, and they come in and they're like, hey, you want to meet up and have sex? And you're like, no. Don't engage in that drama. Don't engage in the drama if they start talking about a karmic situation and trying to bring you, don't engage. If it's a friend that's, you know, that you're having issues with, or a business partner or whatever it might be, or a family member, just don't engage with their drama. It's, you know, if they want to stoop to a certain level, allow them to stoop to a certain level and stand up for yourself and walk away. You don't need to be talked down to. You don't need to be called names. You don't need to be disingenuous. You don't need to be disrespectful. If someone's being disrespectful, just walk away. And that's what I'm seeing happening a lot right now, is people lashing out and projecting. And I've talked about that in posts on Patreon. I've talked about it on videos. So I don't want to go into any more detail and give that any more energy. But the Five of Wands coming up, yeah, there definitely could be conflict with others arising right now to cleanse and clear out some of these karmic energies. We also have the Chariot coming up. So the Chariot energy signifies, it can be a choice, just like the Lover's card. People often, you know, see this as, oh, like the Fool's rushing in energy, like things are going to happen really fast. And yes, that can definitely signify that. This can also be this internal energy, kind of like the Wand energy, this beautiful spiritual, just dynamic force that comes rushing through you, and you start to feel like, I am confident, I've got my willpower back, I've got my confidence back, I know who I am, and I know exactly where I'm going. So instead of being directionless, you're going to start to feel like you have more direction. Now this is connected to the sign of Cancer. So I never, I think it's connected to the sign. I mean, the moon is connected to Cancer. Why do I also think this is connected to Cancer? Maybe I could be wrong, but that looks like the Cancer sign to me. It absolutely looks like the crab. So I'll have to look more into that. But, you know, this can definitely be like, there's two paths that are going to be available to you. Which one is going to be the right one? We've got like a lot of two energy. We've got the Two of Pentacles continuing to come up over and over. We've got the Chariot card signifying that there's some, you're being backed by your own confidence and willpower, and you're being asked to have faith in yourself again. You're being asked to, you know, push that outwards. Like, let people see your confidence. Allow yourself to feel it, to experience it without pushing it down or pushing it away. Now we have the King of Cups energy that came out with a Chariot. So the other storyline that this could be telling us could be telling a story of a King of Cups, of somebody who comes in apologetic, somebody who comes in who it could either be like overflowing with emotion and apologetic, or the King of Cups can also have a stifling emotional energy where they're not quite ready to talk about their emotions. So they might seem very sweet, but then when you try to get deeper into what they're feeling, or what do you feel about me? What are you thinking? They're not that forthcoming. There is generally a trustworthy energy surrounding the King of Cups. And I feel like there can be a very devoted energy, but there's also a cautious energy that the King of Cups can have. It's like he's not sure if he should open his heart or not. This is a king that has a lot of love for you and that wants to express himself, but maybe doesn't know how. So I do see that the intentions are good. Okay, there's good intentions backed with this king, but he just might not know how to express it to you. He might not know how to talk about his emotions. So you might still be, if you're expecting your counterpart to come in a certain way, you might still be disappointed. That's why it's important to let go of any and all expectations, because you just don't know how the counterpart's going to come in. You can't say for sure how they're going to come in. I'm going to pull a card here because I'd like to know about the masculine's energy. Yeah, they've been getting the Strength card a lot. So they're having to also pull deep into their core self, their heart. They're learning to lead with their heart. They're learning to step out of the illusions of the mind. And because this is coming up, next to the Chariot and the King of Cups, they want to come forward. They want to come forward. This is a king. He wants to be respected. He wants to respect himself first, and then he wants to be respected by you. He knows that he's done wrong in the past. He understands that he's done things that didn't make sense to you, that hurt you in the short run and in the long run. But this is about him retrieving his personal power, getting back those soul fragments that he might have lost by giving them away to karmic people or situations. This is about him having compassion for self, forgiving himself, and then being able to forgive you, because for a long time the masculines blamed the feminine and they felt like she was the one that walked away from him, which you were, and you did, and you had to. It's like, I had no choice. I had to walk away from you, right? Because what was happening was you were not respecting me. You were not committed to me. You were not able to meet me where I was at. And so the feminine had no choice but to walk away and to choose herself. She was forced to do that. So the masculine is really honoring himself, but he's honoring you. He wants to come forward from a place of courageousness, not a place of ego. He's realizing that he's a lot stronger emotionally than he ever thought possible. And this is going to create physical strength for him. So if you're masculine, if you saw them last and they had lost weight, or they just looked like they had lost their life force, their chi, their vital life force energy, you just felt like, God, what is happening? Maybe they were in the throes of addiction at the time, or they weren't. A lot of the masculines even have food issues. And so maybe they weren't eating properly. So now the masculines are absolutely in a place where they are starting to nourish their physical bodies again. So I think this is really important. So I think, there is a possibility here. It's an opportunity for the masculines to come forward again in a much more healed manner. Will they be completely healed? I'm not so sure of that. Are we ever completely healed? No. I mean, as long as you're human, you're going to get triggered. As long as you're human, you're going to have an ego. As long as you're human, you're going to get tested. If you're walking around in this human form, then there are still tests, there are still triggers, there are still, there's still karma to work through. So I don't think we get to a place, personally, I don't believe that we are ever healed. And I don't think that's something we should strive for. And I don't think that's something we should strive for in others, because that's not really fair to hold others to such a high potential and something that's not even possible really in this lifetime. That's just my 2 cents. On the bottom of the deck, we have the Awakening. Okay, this is the Hanged Man energy. So it says a temporary pause for reflection and insight. This is what we're all going through. It's what the world is going through. An awakening where you see things in a whole new light, whole new perspective. Embrace your own uniqueness, charitable actions. So yeah, it may seem like things have come to a pause. There's been a sacred pause, a hiatus, whatever you want to call it. But the masculines have, a lot of them have freed themselves from these karmic situations, or are still in the process of freeing themselves. If there was money or houses or children tied to it, etc., it may take a little longer. But that's not your worry. That's not your concern, because you're going to go on living your life. You're going to go on ensuring that you're doing what you need to do for you and what's best for you. And you're not going to worry about what the masculine is doing or what they're not doing. You're going to be focused on self and focused on that inner union, so that it doesn't matter what the other person is doing, right? The person out there, the external counterpart. And, you know, you're going through your own awakening process. You're going through this process of having deeper realizations and insights about yourself, about the world, about others, about relationships. And you're continuing to clear and release, offering compassion and forgiveness to self, and having a deeper understanding of this entire journey. So I hope that this was I hope that this reading is a light in your day. For anyone going through darkness or struggles on this journey, I hope that this reading offers compassion, empathy, and an understanding of what you're going through, and that you feel less alone. Take care, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.